Welcome to the Trump Breaking News Network, your daily source for up-to-the-minute Trump news. Join us today and every day. Here's today's news.
This is TBNN.
Short on healthcare votes, GOP leaders try to ease concerns. By Peter Sullivan and Jesse Hellman. House GOP leaders, acknowledging they do not have the votes to pass their Obamacare replacement bill, sought to ease concerns that the new legislation would weaken protections for people with pre-existing conditions. GOP lawmakers attending a closed-door conference meeting said their leadership gave no timeline for a vote on the bill, despite hopes from the White House that the vote count was getting closer and that it could happen this week. "I certainly think they want to vote this week. I don't know whether there will be one," said Representative Byrne, Republican Alabama, after the closed-door meeting. Lawmakers leaving the GOP conference meeting said they were told leadership is close to the 216 votes needed for a majority, but many representatives still have concerns about how the bill would impact people with pre-existing conditions. It's not clear how close the GOP actually is to winning the support necessary to get 216 votes on the floor. In a major move, former Energy and Commerce Committee Chairman Fred Upton, Republican Michigan, said Tuesday he will vote no on the bill, citing concerns about weakening pre-existing condition protections. Upton, who was a healthcare leader for Republicans as a committee chairman, noted in a radio interview with WHTC that the Conservative Freedom Caucus insisted on the new amendment, which he blames for weakening pre-existing condition protections. "I've supported the practice of not allowing pre-existing illnesses to be discriminated against from the very get-go," Upton said. "This amendment torpedoes that, and I told leadership I cannot support this bill with this provision in it." Illustrating the divide in the Republican conference, Upton said he met with some Freedom Caucus members on Monday about his concerns, but they're not willing to budge, at least at this point. He said a good number of us don't want to go along with the Freedom Caucus change to weaken Obamacare protections, though. "We're not going to budge either," Upton said. Representative Billy Long, RMO, also surprisingly came out in opposition to the bill on Monday, saying it failed to preserve Obamacare's protections for people with pre-existing conditions. "What does that literally mean for individuals with pre-existing conditions? That's what I've been trying to figure out myself," said Representative Brian Mast, Republican Florida, who was a lean yes on the bill before the changes, but is now undecided. There are 22 Republicans opposed to the bill, just one away from the maximum number of defections leaders can afford while still passing the bill, according to the Hill's whip list. Speaker Paul Ryan, Republican Wisconsin, argued as he answered questions about pre-existing conditions during the meeting that there are multiple layers of protections in the bill, lawmakers said, a case he made to reporters after the meeting as well. The revised bill would allow states to waive Obamacare protections preventing people from being charged more based on their health, which could lead to exorbitant premiums that put coverage out of reach. Leaders, though, argued that the layers of protection still included higher-risk pools and protections from higher premiums for people if they had no gaps in coverage. "Some things haven't changed. We want to bring the bill forward when we have the votes," said Representative Luke Messer, Republican Indiana, a member of GOP leadership, after the meeting. "We're very close. Part of what we have to work through is more clearly articulating how the bill protects pre-existing conditions." House Republicans said they are planning to focus their end-of-the-week policy meeting on Thursday on discussing healthcare further. "I'm optimistic that we're close, but again, there's no date. There's no promises," Representative Tom Cole, Republican Oklahoma, told reporters on Tuesday, adding that he still thinks it's realistic to have a vote this week. "I think we're very close."
That's the news. Join us here every day. Be sure to subscribe and click the bell. See you next time.
This is TBNN.